Valentine's Day is supposed to be about romance, but what if everything you thought you knew about love was turned upside down? Imagine a family where jealousy, betrayal, passion, and secrets collide, and every moment could shock you or leave you breathless. Today, you're going to see the first date after 22 years of promises, the drama of plural love, the tension of first kisses, engagements, and helicopter rides that change everything. And by the end, you won't believe what happens next. So make sure you hit subscribe and turn on notifications because you don't want to miss a single twist in this story of love, family, and secrets that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Valentine's Day has always been marketed as this monogamous, romantic holiday, a celebration of couples. Yet, in this family, the day transforms into something else, something almost surreal, a family event laden with hidden tension, anticipation, and secrets. Because beneath the layers of chocolates, flowers, and obligatory smiles lies decades of history, promises whispered in the dark, moments of hesitation, and decisions that would shape lives forever. It all begins with a simple, "Hey Mary," a greeting that seems casual, yet carries the weight of 22 years of unspoken emotions, of awkward confessions, of long-deferred romance, and of finally taking that elusive first date skiing, a date that carries with it every expectation, every memory, every fear and thrill of decades of togetherness. As they step into the crisp, cold air, the memory of hot chocolate surfaces instantly, a nostalgic wave that takes them back to when they first met, to the cold bite of winter mornings, to the dizzying excitement of buying a ring, and to their first kiss, a kiss that was clumsy, unpolished, yet undeniably potent and haunting in its innocence, and mirrored in a proposal that lacked refinement but overflowed with vulnerability as he turned and offered a small box trembling in his hands, words fumbling out because it was his first true act of courage and sincerity. And the reaction was a mixture of disbelief, amusement, perhaps even frustration, but also a spark, a silent acknowledgement of something electric that would ignite a story spanning years. Conversations about plural marriage, negotiations of boundaries, and delicate adjustments to love, commitment, and family that seemed at once impossible and inevitable. And then there were the moments of celebration, the big wedding reception, the laughter, the cake smushed across faces, the song "Everything I Own" by Bread, sung reluctantly to satisfy a grandmother's insistence, yet filled with nostalgia and echoes of first love memories that refused to fade. And life continued with its mixture of the mundane and the extraordinary, with workouts in Red Rock Canyon, building not just physical strength, but emotional resilience, preparing for the unexpected surprises that life in a plural family brings. And the complexities of sister wives introduced layers of tension and negotiation that demanded patience, understanding, and compromise. Janelle adjusting to Mary, Mary adjusting to Janelle, adjusting to new rules and expectations. And through it all, children were born. Logan, Aspen, Mariah, each one weaving themselves into the family fabric, creating bonds that were unbreakable, yet challenging, forcing the adults to navigate jealousy, competition, love, and affection in ways that tested every emotional limit. And even as years passed and the novelty of new love faded, there remained a quiet understanding that love could deepen, not in spite of complexity, but because of it, that struggles and disagreements were opportunities for growth, and the loops of memory returned again and again to first kisses, proposals, awkward engagements, the string ring, the diamond ring, promises made quietly in private moments or publicly witnessed by family and friends. All these details layered suspensefully because every action had consequences rippling through the family, and every viewer watching could not help but be drawn in, compelled to witness the unfolding drama because the stakes were real, because love was at the center, but surrounded by risk, jealousy, uncertainty, and exhilaration, and the anticipation of what might happen next was palpable as helicopter rides over breathtaking vistas introduced awe and fear. The thrill of skiing and dancing mirrored the unpredictability of human emotion, and even the distribution of Valentine's Day flowers became a high-stakes ritual loaded with significance because they symbolized not only affection, but also recognition of past sacrifices and lingering tensions. And each moment was amplified by decades of accumulated history. Every glance, every whisper, every small gesture became a potential foreshadowing of conflict or triumph, and viewers were compelled to stay riveted because the narrative looped back on itself, recalling past events, informing present actions, and hinting at future consequences. And the story refused to allow any disengagement as it cycled through arguments, reconciliations, surprises, confessions, intimate moments, dramatic gestures, and quiet acts of kindness, all interwoven in a complex tapestry of love, jealousy, family loyalty, and the human desire for connection and acceptance. And through all of this, the audience was made aware that nothing was ever truly predictable, that the next kiss might cause shock, that the next revelation might create heartache, that the smallest gesture might be transformative, and that love, even in its most unconventional form, carried stakes high enough to command attention and engagement. And the anticipation never released because past misunderstandings haunted present interactions, and every choice was layered with meaning and consequence, and every viewer was caught in the loop, analyzing every expression, every interaction, predicting outcomes, fearing disappointment, and anticipating joy. And the story escalated with each new event: a birthday gift, a quiet conversation, a reflection on gratitude, a confession of inadequacy, a helicopter ride. Ride a skiing adventure, a dance in a dimly lit hall, every event building suspense because it was never simply about romance or family gatherings, but about human emotion tested under pressure and the interplay of desires, jealousies, love, and hope. And as the narrative continued, Christine's introduction into the family added another dimension, a fresh dynamic that promised stability yet also unpredictability, because her interactions with Mary, Janelle, and Cody had the potential to shift balances and create tension or healing moments. And her presence amplified the stakes because viewers had to process her relationships not only with Cody but with the other wives and the children and the extended family. And the audience remained hooked, unable to look away, because each new revelation might redefine alliances or affection or forgiveness. And the loops of memory and anticipation ensured that viewers were constantly drawn back to prior events, drawing connections, interpreting motivations, predicting consequences, and experiencing vicariously the highs and lows, the triumphs and heartbreaks of a family navigating love, trust, jealousy, and commitment in ways that were shocking, complex, exhilarating, and dramatic. And no single moment could exist in isolation because everything was connected. The first kiss influenced the engagement influenced family dynamics, the family dynamics influenced love and trust, and every subtle interaction reverberated across all relationships, creating a suspenseful tension that compelled viewers to remain engaged moment by moment, heartbeat by heartbeat, glance by glance. And as Valentine's Day approached with its symbolic gestures of flowers, chocolates, gifts, and shared moments, it was never simply a holiday, but a stage for drama, suspense, and revelation. And the audience knew that any kiss, any word, any action could be transformative or destabilizing, and each gesture looped back to the past to create suspense, tension, curiosity, and emotional investment in a narrative that was as continuous as it was unpredictable. And so the story commanded attention because it was living, breathing, and endlessly intricate, because it exposed human hearts in ways that were both relatable and extraordinary, because it presented love in its most complex, compelling form, because suspense was embedded in every interaction, because drama was layered in every memory and every expectation, because the story itself refused to allow viewers to disengage, because the human heart is messy and the consequences of emotion are high, and because every single moment was charged with the potential to shock or delight, to heal or hurt, to expose vulnerability or strength, to elicit awe or disbelief, to pull viewers into a loop of suspense and drama that would not relent. And that is why they could not leave, why they could not skip a second, why they had to remain entranced, waiting for the next revelation, the next confession, the next act of love, jealousy, compromise, or courage, because each new detail might forever change the trajectory of relationships and the rhythm of family life, and because the narrative loops ensured that every viewer was part of the unfolding story, intimately, emotionally, and irrevocably invested in the twists and turns of this extraordinary, unconventional family and its drama, suspense, love, heartbreak, joy, and because the narrative skillfully intertwined past, present, and future, creating a seamless emotional roller coaster where every gesture, glance, conversation, and secret mattered, and because the story refused to let go, it kept viewers glued, frame by frame, sentence by sentence, moment by moment, wondering what would happen next, who would be hurt, who would be forgiven, who would triumph, who would falter. And in this continuous loop of suspense, drama, and emotion, the audience remained captive and enthralled and emotionally tethered to the journey as it unfolded with unexpected twists, surprises, and shocking revelations that promised more heartbreak, more joy, more suspense, more love, more drama, more human complexity, more intrigue, and more captivating storytelling that could not be stopped, ignored, or forgotten. And that is the power of this story, the power of a family, love tested by time, circumstance, emotion, and unconventional commitment, and the power of suspense that loops endlessly, drawing the viewer deeper and deeper into a world where every moment matters, every heart beats with significance, every choice resonates with consequence, and every scene is imbued with tension, drama, and the unpredictable beauty of human relationships that captivates and mesmerizes and commands attention without pause. And yet the story does not end with the first date, the first kiss, the awkward proposal, the gifts, and the celebrations, because life in this family moves in waves of drama, tension, and emotion that refuse to let go. And as Christine and David's relationship grew, it became a force that interacted with and reshaped the existing dynamics of Mary, Janelle, Cody, and Robin, and each new interaction carried the weight of history, every glance, every word, every touch, layered with unspoken meaning and suspense, because viewers could sense that what seemed ordinary might erupt into conflict or revelation at any second. And even as they navigated romantic milestones, engagements, weddings, anniversaries, family gatherings, and seemingly mundane moments such as cooking or distributing flowers, there was tension under the surface, because plural marriage introduces complex emotions and rivalries and attachments that require constant negotiation, patience, empathy, and courage. And no viewer could look away, because the stakes were intensely human yet extraordinary at the same time. And that's just the beginning of a story full of love, secrets, jealousy, and unforgettable moments as this family navigates passion, heartbreak, and loyalty. You've seen the first kisses, the unexpected surprises, and the drama that keeps every heart on edge. But the story doesn't end here. If you want to see what happens next and witness every shocking twist, hit that subscribe button now and turn on notifications, because you don't want to miss a single moment of this roller coaster journey of love, family, and secrets that will leave you speechless.